Austin police have their share of 911 calls when snipers have to be called into those dangerous standoffs.
But as KXAN's Ignacio Garcia found out today, a partnership forged between Austin and Fort Hood snipers was the right call to help save lives.
It's physically demanding, but also a test of having to make split-second decisions and skills. An ability to hit a target up to a mile away. But there was also intel to share between Austin's SWAT team and snipers from Fort Hood's 1-3 Cavalry Regiment.
The military's rules of engagement have, I think, got very stricter over the last few years, and that kind of reflects how the police department, we have very strict rules of engagement. It has to be certain circumstances when you can actually use lethal force.
They can train us to shoot through glass. That's something we don't do a lot of, and it's something that they have to plan for and be ready to execute at any given time.
Police say working with the military is critical, but there are some differences. Austin Police generally works with targets about 30 yards or less. The military's targets are much further than that. Soldiers trained to strike a mile away, but need more knowledge to fight in populated areas.
Because you have magnified optics, and you're able to see greater detail a lot of times as a sniper, and you're passing that information on to the rest of the officers that are on scene.
Taking out targets is critical, but knowing how to read people is just as important.
You've got criminal gangs, you've got probably a bad element, which is a small element to the population.
It's the first time they've trained together, but based on how much both sides have gained, they're likely to meet again for a second round. In Fort Hood, Ignacio Garcia, KXAN News.
Talks to hold this training started 8 years ago when police officers and soldiers first discussed ways they could help save each other's lives in standoffs. Half of Austin's police snipers training today are military veterans.